Mr. Speaker, this budget also addresses another serious concern for constituents of mine, concerns that constituents have raised to me and that we've all read about in the papers, and that's crime. Feeling safe in your community is
Okay, I have to say something here.
And that's why Budget 2012 will allocate.
Surrey is secondary to East Hastings area, which has been dubbed at one point the highest impoverished area of all of Canada. So Surrey was running second neck and neck with that for the longest time.
As well, it provides for the $81 million over 3 years to fund the new Surrey Pretrial Services Centre, which I had the opportunity to go and learn about and to tour the old facility. Mr. Speaker, these are all welcome investments in the city of Surrey.
All I got to say, think about Bill 50, C50 from the federal government. I'm sure it's number 50.
Mr. Speaker,
51, 52. I'll look and I'll add it into the link. I'll add in a link or something.
Our social welfare system is something that we as Canadians and as British Columbians identify with.
With the new legislation that they brought in under welfare reform,
Speaker, I'm very pleased that
people being released from, Surrey pretrial or from prison or whatever, are not qualifying for social assistance. So there's a 2 to 4 week gap, if not longer, where an individual that has absolutely access to no resources is being denied basic social services. Okay, so if you put that in line with mandatory sentencing, being eased in, right, where all the money's going to now go towards getting that system in place, that's where you start robbing Peter to pay Paul again. Because, a lot of that funding has to come in from the provincial government to set in that structure that the federal government is insisting on. These people that are going around doing petty crime for various reasons are going to be instigated to the point where, under pressure with no social services, there's a higher chance that they may go out there and, break into a car for some change that they see on a seat. And if they get caught under mandatory sentencing, they're going to be locked up for 3-4 years, if not longer, depending on how far we want to take Republican politics. Right? So, I don't see how that is falls under social development.
The realities we are all facing collectively are different. And that's why now more than ever it's imperative that we have the courage and conviction to be strong, to make tough choices, to be prudent, to protect our credit rating, our competitive advantage, and our unique place in the Canadian economic landscape. We all collectively must work to ensure that the generation to follow, those children and grandchildren that are so warmly recognized in this house on a regular basis, are protected. Because if we truly care about
the ones that can afford to fly the nest, the ones that can't end up being picked at like sitting ducks and chipped away through these legislative bills that they bring in, restrictions where poor people can't have access to basic social services regardless of bad behavior or not. And they're just speeding up the process for a larger agenda that's being, provoked out of the federal government in partnership, maybe in this case, with the United States of America to build on the concept of a prison industrial complex to solve their social programs, because at the end of the day...
All those in favor say aye.
Oh, you're going to shut down now.
Nay. Motion carried. Government House Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the House do now adjourn.
So at the end of the day, they can just shut you down and say, see ya. Right? Pretty much. Back in the day, you could be sitting here at 2 o'clock in the morning watching this stuff. Right? Not anymore. Not anymore. It's go and then go straight to jail, right? One way or another, you're going to jail. For a lot of people, they're going to jail. So, the fellow before this woman that was up there yapping away, he was at least trying to address some of that stuff. He's not blind, right? It's not that hard to tell when you see, right? The compounding of what the entitlement mentality, when you got already everything you got and you still want more. I don't know. Anyway, peace out.